Good morning and welcome to day 6 of the Syria tour. Today we're leaving from the beautiful city of Al-Mishtaya, which is near Crac de Chevaliers. We're making a 290-kilometer journey to Palmyra. That is the ancient city of Palmyra, where we're going to spend some time looking at whatever remains of the ruins there. It was one of the places that was hardest hit by ISIS during the war. So we're going to go to Palmyra and then make our way back to Damascus, which is about 300 kilometers from Palmyra. So it's going to be a long day on the road. You'll see a lot of visuals from the road, different parts of Syria, different topography. Yeah, looking forward. It was raining, not dramatically, just enough to soften the edges of everything. The bus pulled out slowly, windshield wipers moving in a steady rhythm. And someone asked how far Palmyra was from here. It sounded like a practical question, but it wasn't. Because as we drove, the landscape began to change gradually, then unmistakably. Green hills faded, trees thinned out, the earth grew paler, harsher, more exposed. By the time the rain stopped, it felt like we'd crossed into another country. And in a way, we had. We stopped for gas, and it was interesting to see what a Syrian gas station in the middle of nowhere looks like. Before we talk about destruction, we need to talk about what Palmyra was. Palmyra was not a forgotten outpost in the desert. It was one of the most important cities of the ancient world. 2,000 years ago, it sat at the crossroads of empires, linking Rome to Persia, the Mediterranean to Mesopotamia, east to west. Merchants passed through here carrying silk, spices, incense, and ideas. Languages overlapped. Religions coexisted. Palmyra was wealthy, multilingual, and outward-looking, a reminder that globalization did not begin in the modern age.
From the blue waters of the Mediterranean, we take you east, over the world-renowned cedars of Lebanon, deep into the heart of ancient Syria. Between Damascus and Baghdad lie hundreds of miles of barren, burning sand. And here today, as it was 5,000 years ago, the way of trade across the desert is kept open by the feet of men and camels.
When we arrived in Palmyra, there was no dramatic entrance. No hotels, no tour buses, no crowds. Just a parking area and silence. After the war, nearly all infrastructure here was destroyed. The hotels that once hosted archaeologists, historians, and travelers no longer exist. Today, one of the only places left to eat or rest is a Bedouin camp set just outside the ruins. Inside, it was simple, but deeply human. There was heating, warm food, chai poured slowly into small glasses. In a place shaped by erasure, hospitality survives. To understand what was lost, we have to imagine Palmyra as it once stood. The great colonnade stretched for more than a kilometer. Limestone columns lining the city's main axis, guiding travelers through marketplaces and civic spaces. The Temple of Bel, built in the 1st century AD, was Palmyra's spiritual heart, a fusion of Roman architecture and Near Eastern religious tradition.
Can you see that monument?
Yeah.
Yes. Do you remember when it was built?
2,000 years ago.
Okay, specifically 32 AD.
32.
Right?
Yeah.
This colonnaded street was built in the 3rd century. Okay. So later, after the monument, But then, because they built these monuments on the two sides of the colonnaded street, and they needed to link that main gate there with the colonnaded street, it doesn't happen because it should be straight street, always the via recta of the Roman cities. It should be straight. So they came up with a brilliant idea. Actually, you can see here, we have two arches right there. One will go this way, the other will go this way, and there will be 30-degree corner. And then the straight street will curve and go there to the main street. That's the solution. But still the camouflage, it should be 3 gates. 1 big and 2 small, sided, right? So they did this camouflage and they succeeded because it still appears to you as 3 gates, but it is 6. Unfortunately, it was destroyed by ISIS in 2015 as well.
We are here in Palmyra, walking through the Victory Arch and the walkway to commemorate Palmyra. Most of it has been destroyed by ISIS around 2014, 2015. But what remains gives you a picture of how great this place was.
We see these columns.
Oh yes, the 4 columns.
Yes, and they don't belong here actually because we don't have granite in Syria. Usually in Aswan, whenever you see granite in Syria, they were brought from Aswan, but you can see how huge they were, right? And so the person here must be very important to bring all these columns all the way from Aswan, Egypt to here. We are talking about Zenobia. Have you heard about Zenobia?
Yeah.
She's the queen of the desert. She's the queen of Palmyra. The importance of Zenobia started when she made Syria, or she made Palmyra, a huge empire, covering the entire Syria, south of Turkey, and Egypt. Believe it or not, Palmyra was the headquarters of this huge territory. Unfortunately, only for three years. But actually, in our history, we are proud of Zenobia. Zenobia is the representation of the Syrian woman. She was beautiful and educated. She spoke 5 languages fluently. And she could really govern Palmyra, and the prosperous time of Palmyra was during Zenobia time.
It also makes you poignant and makes you take a pause and think about the level of destruction that happened over here. The kind of stuff that human beings are capable of doing. It befuddles me. I do hope one day very soon there's a restoration effort that starts. It's never going to be the real thing, the original version, but this type of history and this kind of stories deserve to be told.
Can you see the gate there? This gate that's standing still.
That's crazy. Wow.
You can see the palm trees here and there.
What year is this photo?
Before 2015.
We spent almost the entire day walking through Palmyra. There's a quiet exhaustion that comes from ruins, not physical, but emotional. You constantly switch timelines in your head. What stood here? What should still be here? Every broken stone becomes a question. This used to be such a magnificent structure that has been totally annihilated by ISIS in the 5 years that they were here. This used to be the Temple of Bel. Can I take a quick shot of that? This is what it used to look like in 2015. Thank you. This is what it's been reduced to today.
You remember I was telling you about the pilgrimage here that used to happen in Palmyra every 7th of April. They come here, they turn around that cellar, and they bring their sacrifices, they slaughter them here, and then there are channels for the blood. Can you see this one channel? For the blood, so that the blood can go in channels. That gate used to be for the animals. They bring the animals from here all the way inside there. So it's pretty much like paganism was not the case of no religion. It was religion, but multi-god religion.
Double gods.
And actually many of the habits that they used to do, we took in our religions today. Take for example fasting. Take for example the pilgrimage itself. And take for example turning around a structure in the middle that's dedicated to one of the gods. So our religions now are just an update version of paganism.
The Roman theater was a place of performance and gathering, not violence, not spectacle of death. We're now in the amphitheater where some of the brutal executions during ISIS.
Amateur video purportedly shows Islamic State militants carrying out a mass execution in Palmyra's ancient amphitheatre. 25 Syrian government soldiers were shot in the head. The footage was released on Saturday, although the killings were believed to have taken place more than a month ago when ISIL overran the city.
And it was quite brutal. So they did destroy the amphitheater after that, but you do see what that amphitheater looked like back in the day. Yes, the climb to the top was hard, but isn't that life? The view from there was simply fabulous.
Look at this huge Agora. Agora in Greek, Forum in Roman, marketplace in modern language. Look how huge is this. It used to have porticos from all the sides, closed ceiling, right? And this was built by someone rich from Palmyra. It was not the government, it was private funding. And actually, you can see here transcriptions that praise this man who built this place. You can see Greek to the left, Palmyrian to the right. And it was half tribal, half parliament system. And they used to call them, the people used to be called the fathers of Palmyra. Those people who represent the people.
They made laws, or did they also do justice?
They do the main laws.
Okay.
Main laws. One of them is the taxation panels, taxation system.
Did they have a currency at that time, or was it barter?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
They had a currency. One of the currencies had Zenobia. The Zenobia photo on it, yeah. Anyway, please.
Were they able to recover any of that in the?
For the time being, the museum is closed. During the first attack, ISIS, they tried to secure some of the parts of the jewelries and so on.
Mhm.
Some of the parts were lost and some were secured.
Did they also have a cemetery here, like a graveyard?
Yes, of course. We will go and visit cemetery
Okay.
after the lunch. There are cemeteries here and there, underground tower cemeteries. And
Because I remember the one in the museum in Damascus.
and Damascus, yeah.
Yes. So like that?
Yes, like that. Yeah.
Palmyra stood as proof that civilizations do not need to erase each other to thrive. They can merge. When people say Palmyra was destroyed by war, that's only partly true. Much of what happened here was intentional. Between 2015 and 2017, the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant, or ISIL, deliberately demolished some of Palmyra's most important monuments, not because they posed a military threat, not because they were strategic targets, but because they were symbols. The Temple of Bel was blown up. The Temple of Bel was reduced to rubble. Sections of the Great Colonnade were collapsed with explosives. The monumental arch, which had welcomed travelers for centuries, was destroyed. These acts were filmed, staged, and distributed. Destruction became messaging. Some of Palmyra's greatest losses weren't architectural. They were personal. The Palmyran funerary bus. Hundreds of limestone sculptures once sealed tombs and burial chambers. Each one was a portrait, a real person, named in Aramaic inscriptions. They stared forward calmly. Not gods, not kings, people. During the destruction, many of these busts were smashed, faces targeted, heads severed. Some were looted and trafficked. Others were pulverized on site. What survives today often does so headless, bodies without faces, identities stripped away, it's hard not to see the symbolism.
This is where ISIS had its headquarters.
You can see they supported the place with these kind of cement sacks to prevent any attack, any potential attack. This was their stronghold, their headquarters. Yeah. This is the authentic gates. Look at the Palmyrian transcription. Can you see the Palmyrian transcription?
Palmyra did not just honor its living, it built cities for its dead. Tower tombs rose above the desert, multi-story monuments housing generations of families. Underground tombs, known as hypogeia, stretched beneath the sand.
This was cemetery 2,000 years ago. And here, they used to bury the dead people, right? And the same concept, they put statue on this.
Each niche held a body, each slab bore a name, each bust told a story. These tombs were sacred, not only religiously, but socially. To destroy them wasn't vandalism, it was an attempt to erase lineage itself.
Here, they wrote the verse from Quran. Help each other for good deeds. Don't help each other for sin and aggression. Brother jihadist, help your brothers to clean the place after every meal. I'm scared.
There's light from top.
Yeah. God, is this a ghost or something?
The ghost is coming. The ghost is German.
Most of Syria is not desert in the way people imagine. It's a semi-desert, a vast open landscape where life survives only where water allows it to. For centuries, that made places like Palmyra extraordinary. Right here, in the middle of the Syrian steppe, lies an oasis, fed by underground springs, protected by palm groves, and visible from miles away. For ancient caravans moving along the Silk Route, this wasn't just a stop, it was survival. Merchants traveling between the Mediterranean and Mesopotamia rested here with silk, spices, incense, and ideas. Palmyra didn't grow despite the desert, it grew because of it. Standing at the oasis today, you understand why. The air feels cooler, the land softens, life gathers naturally around water. Just beyond the ruins, daily life continues at the Bedouin camp. There's nothing staged here, only routine. Tea is poured, food is prepared, lunch is served communally, everyone sharing from the same dishes. It's a reminder that long before Palmyra became ruins, it was sustained by people who understood the desert and how to live with it. And in many ways, that hasn't changed at all. Palmyra, which once connected empires and dominated the world, today stands as broken columns, where temples once defined the skyline. Some structures survived thousands of years, but it was only destroyed in moments. It was a heavy day, for sure. To know that, to see the level of destruction here, and to think that this was done 10 years ago, does bother me to a great degree. We spent the entire day walking through remains and constantly imagining what once stood here and asking what was really gained by erasing this. As the sun's about to set, we're heading back to Damascus. The desert is quiet again. Everyone in the bus is reflective. Palmyra today isn't just a ruin, it's a question. one we're still struggling to answer, if you ask me. On the way back to Damascus, we stopped briefly for refreshments. There were stray dogs there, thin, cautious, watching from a distance. We fed them. It felt small, almost insignificant, but in a place shaped by destruction, even small acts feel necessary.
Happy?
Did you give them something?
I gave them biscuit there.
Sit. 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 Good boy. Good sit. Good sit. Good boy. Good boy.
Palmyra survived empires, Romans, Byzantines, caliphates, earthquakes. What it couldn't survive was modern hatred amplified by modern weapons. So when we ask, what did we gain? The answer is uncomfortable. Nothing. Only absence. Palmyra once stood as proof that civilizations could coexist. Now it stands as a warning. History does not belong to one group. It belongs to humanity. And once it's gone, there's no then left to compare with now. Only loss.
Like the content on this channel, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps us out.